Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. Welcome to your reading for October 24th through the 30th. You have an eclipse coming at 2 degrees of your sign on Tuesday at 6:49 a.m. Eastern Time Zone here in the U.S. You do need to adjust for your time zone. I did put a calculator for the time zones in the description box below, but your energy here this week, it is eclipse season. It is everything. We've got Venus conjunct the Sun at the time of the eclipse, and we've got Mercury moving into your sign at the end of the week. But at the beginning of the week, it's still working really strongly with the other air signs, creating a lot of clarity, opportunity for clarity to come in, and I think that's going to be really important to you. So you have been in need of an opportunity to do some major healing work, which when the South Node is in your sign, I love the way your week ends though. So hang in there. This is a new moon it's happening at a degree point where we haven't had an eclipse in our recorded history, which is kind of cool. So this is really new energy, a really new opportunity, but eclipses always required that you release something and let it go in order to get to the good stuff, to get to the new stuff. So you actually have to go a little deeper in there. So your energy, I pulled some cards for you for the energy of the shifting energy that is going on with these eclipses, because we have one now and one in 2 weeks in Taurus, which opposes your sign, and that one will be the lunar eclipse. And then we have the next 6 months, it kind of spreads that energy out. And I wanted to see what would be shifting and changing, how to do that. And you have butterflies in gloom after sadness, happiness, and hope returns. And you have pose brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. So these wings of change, and honestly, one of the other sign had these two cards plus another one with butterflies on it. And I want to say it was like Gemini, but I'm not 100 on that. So you have for the overall energy here, the Three of Swords. It's called isolation. It is someone that's been crying these tears so long and they're frozen over. So what does this tell us? That you've gone through a difficult time, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. So the key to this situation is to allow the healing to come in, to not be afraid to take a risk, take a chance. Again, like don't close yourself off, don't isolate so much because of things that have happened in the past. Be willing to push through. You have such push through energy here this week. It's amazing. And so I feel like this eclipse is going to propel you forward in one giant leap for Scorpio kind. Okay, so here in the key to the situation, we have the King of Cups. It's you. It's the healing energy. This is an opportunity. Sorry, this thing like gets loose. It is an opportunity for you to really get your head and heart in balance. It is emotional balancing coming in, but the healing is by allowing the emotions to flow. I feel like you need the thawing of this energy and trust. And so hope is going to open up the door and let you go forward. So here you've been trying to get the clarity, and we have, this would be the Ace of Swords in this deck. It's called consciousness. Spending a lot of time in thought will get you there, but will really get you there faster is time in meditation, where you allow your higher self to have the conversations with you. And so how do you like if you're in the shower, right? The like water signs, we're so great in the shower because all this downloads and information. So if you just go in there and you pay attention to what is flitting through your head, that's your consciousness working with you to help you to figure out what it is that you need to know. And then from there, you can create plans and move forward. I've been feeling very like I'm so tired of being in this energy, right? Like I'm so sick of this. And you might be very agitated and irritated and easily easily annoyed. Although you may not show it, it doesn't mean you're not feeling it. So in the area of what has been draining your resources is you're waiting for something to happen. Is this working for me or is it not? Do I continue on this path or do I pick another path? And we have the card of patience, which is a very pregnant woman, by the way. And it has the cycles of the moon, and it really looks like an Empress card. And it's been really hard to sit and wait for the cycles, the energy of the eclipse to get things moving, but this eclipse gets things moving. So I want to say the time is over, that you have to sit patiently. It is time to move forward, to pick action, to be bold, to be brave, to be courageous, to be willing to step out a little into the direction that you most want to move in. It is time to choose from the heart space, and it's also time to not let... don't project. You have the card of projection here. It's the Seven of Cups. It's in the heart space, okay? Don't project. What has happened in the past doesn't dictate what's going to happen in the future. We are destined to repeat a cycle until we figure it out. But if you've done the work, if you've grown and you've changed, your energy and your frequency is different, you're going to attract different opportunities. It's kind of like when you continue to date the same guy. He might look different, but he's the same guy, right? And it's because you haven't figured out yet what it is you don't like. But once you do, then don't think that the next guy that you pick is the same guy. Wait and see. Is it the same guy or is it not? Sometimes we have things our family does when we're growing up that irritates us, that pushes our buttons, and then we get into relationships and somebody accidentally does that same thing and you think they're doing it to be mean. They're not. You can calmly explain to them, or you can sit there and be stewing about it and be angry and then just project all the anger and resentment you had on them, and when a conversation may have disarmed the whole situation, right? And so the thing about the Seven of Cups being in the heart space moving forward, it feels more like a warning. Don't project what you expect to happen based on negative things that have happened to you in the past. That being said, do project into the future the joy you want to feel. If you are willing to sit in the energy of the joy and the happiness that you want to feel, like every day, take a few minutes to sit there and think about what you want to feel. What would it feel like to be financially successful? Or what would it feel like to be in a great relationship? Or what would it feel like to have a child? Or what would it feel like to get that great job? Or whatever it is, whatever this thing is that you want, sit there and feel it. Like, just feel the happiness. And that will raise your frequency, your vibration to that energetic level, which will allow you to attract it. So whatever you're feeling is what you're going to attract. So that is why you want to let the hope in. Because if you're in the energy of doom and gloom, you're going to attract more crap. But if you will allow yourself to feel hopeful and courageous and brave, you will draw and attract the great things to you. So I really want to encourage you. It is a practice. It does take time. And sometimes you can only sit in that energy for like a hot second. Then you're like, man, that was hard, man. My brain's like, and you just keep practicing. And it gets better. It gets easier. And eventually you get there. So trust in yourself. Have the patience for that process, right? And then here in the energy of what has been the greatest obstacle, we have the card of courage, the pushing through. And here we have post flight that's saying you will not let fear stop you this time. This is an obstacle that's been in the past, but you can totally push past it. And I know that because here you have the card of the breakthrough. This is justice. This is pushing forward. I actually think that in this deck, it might actually be the strength card. It's so hard to say, but it's called breakthrough. And look, it's breaking through the brick wall. The thing that's been difficult for you, it's punching your way through, breaking the glass ceiling, pushing past your fears, not letting fear hold you back, but instead expecting the good things and deciding to go for it and create that. And the action to take, you have the Wheel of Fortune. You've got this beautiful card that says change. This new moon eclipse can change everything. If you have the courage to allow it to do that, to push through, to have the breakthrough moment. in the area, oh, that's funny I said that to Sag, I was wrong. In the area of resources, you have integration. You have the card of Temperance. So here we have what looks like an eagle or a hawk. It's definitely a bird of prey that's very focused on what it wants. And on this side, you have the swan. The swan glides through life in a very balanced way. We have the yin and the yang. We have the snake that's biting his tail, Orvis, whatever it is. That's the cycle that's changing. And we have all that rainbow energy. You don't get a rainbow unless there's been a storm. And so this is finding right here, the yin and the yang. The energy in the heart space of balance. The energy of healing. It's really great. In your last card, you have the Six of Wands, the card of success. You exit this week with the opportunity to be very successfully moving forward. It's up to you, though. You have to have the courage to push through. If you have the courage to push through, success is waiting for you on the other side. You can stay where you are and be sad, or you can push through and move toward what it is that you really want. It's really beautiful. Okay, so like I said, the moon's in Libra as we start the week, and the moon in Libra is holding a nice flow of energy with Saturn and Mars and there's this and Mercury, and so it's clarity of thought about how to build a structure and how to move forward, and so that energy really hangs through the week. And then the moon moves into your sign on Tuesday morning, and then at 6:49 a.m. Eastern Time Zone here in the U.S., that's the eclipse at 2 degrees. And conjunct Venus, who knows what she wants, but she's not very comfortable in Mars. And so, I mean, in Mercury, Scorpio. And so she's trying very hard to assert her needs, her goals, her wants, her desires. She's going to be fighting to find the joy. And they're opposing Dark Moon Lilith, who's about, hey, you know what? I believe in myself over here. So you're really being encouraged to figure out what you want. Look at this. You have this card. Look at the yin yang at the top, up here. This is the card of harmony and joy and happiness of creating it for yourself, right? Those cards look very similar in a lot of ways. Okay, so you have that. You have a lot of cards, but it doesn't surprise me. There is a card of needing. I almost want to say you've done the research already. You already know. You know everything you need to know. You have the information you need to move forward. But there's been this divine timing thing that you've been waiting on. But here it is, the Wheel of Fortune. The timing is happening now. It's like the clock is about to strike. Here we've got a letter being carried in by the bluebird, or is that a pigeon? It might be a carrier pigeon. It's like she's been sitting there waiting and waiting by the phone, waiting for some news and information. It's coming in now. It is up to you to decide, is it too late or not? The wheel is turning. You can either take a risk, take a chance, and go for it, or not. We have this, the card of the Femme Fatale. Feels like your energy. And at the same time, I want to say, don't get distracted. Did you ever see that movie? Gosh, Robert Redford, baseball dude. What is it? The Natural. And he's young, and he's on the train, and he's on his way to the big time. And then somebody very much like this sidelines him for years, and he's off. He's not into baseball, right? He doesn't get to play. Years go by, and then he has a second chance. And don't let things distract you. It feels like if there's a second chance, like you've been waiting for something, if you have a second chance to make it work, don't be afraid because it didn't work last time. Now, it could be not the same job, but the same kind of job, not the same relationship partner, but the kind of relationship that you want. It could be similar and not the same, right? But I feel like don't let fear hold you back. You get to choose what you want. Your thoughts are going to dictate what happens here. So that's a lot of power that you are wielding. You learned something, right? You've learned all these things that have happened. You've learned and you've grown. You have wisdom now that you didn't have then. And I really think you should trust yourself. All right, so then we have the moon moving into Sagittarius. We do kind of have this energy around Thursday and Friday where Jupiter's backing up into Pisces, going back over some dreams, like to recapture these dreams, and Pluto and Mars, Mercury are squaring off, and so it's kind of like the boss. It feels like keep your dreams to yourself a little bit. Like keep some of that stuff to yourself, because I feel like if you were to tell the wrong person, they're going to try to dash your dreams. And so you might need to take care of it a little. It doesn't mean you don't move toward it, but I just feel like don't share it all out there. There's this bird here. It makes me feel like don't tell everybody everything. Oh, definitely don't do that. Look, you have the raccoon here. So let's find your own identity. Your dreams are your dreams. Your goals are your goals. And there's a need for you to kind of keep them a little bit to yourself, a little bit safe, a little bit protected, so that other people can't put their nasty energy on it. And if it's something like a work project or an idea, don't need somebody at work's, taking your great idea and then acting like it's theirs, right? I mean, that happens. Make sure that you're not sharing necessarily everything, but I do feel like you've been doing a lot of work to figure out what it is. And so now it's the opportunity to push through, to have the breakthrough, to make the big change that moves you on the path of success. And you have here, when the moon moves into Capricorn, the last couple of days of the week, Saturday and Sunday, Mars is going to start a station retrograde on Sunday, and Mercury moves into Scorpio. So now you'll have Venus and Mercury and the Sun in your sign. That's a lot of personal power and a lot of personal planets working with you. So that's kind of nice. And Pluto is in Capricorn. So by the time we get through the next couple of days, the moon is going to conjunct with your ruling sign, one of them, because Mars is the other one. But that one is in the area of choice and decision making, where it will intersect with your chart and what's going on. And so you have an opportunity to make the bold choice, to make the bold decision, to push things forward in the way you want. You have the card of the angel coming through to wrap up the week, and it says, you may soon encounter a person or events that will benefit you in ways that seem to have angelic origins, or you may be called to be an angel for someone else. But I think this breakthrough is coming. You need to pay attention, be bold when you see it, and go for it. Go for it so that you end up riding towards success at the end of the week. Very, very nice energy. All right, Scorpio, happy solar return to those of you who are having it this week. Congratulations on what looks like a very nice eclipse for you. Much better than it is for so many others, so that's good stuff. All right, you guys take care. I'm on Facebook every day. I do a different kind of a reading there. A little bit more astrology, definitely into the energies, and join me for the live chat at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, U.S. I premiere a collective reading. I'm going to pull cards specific for each sign of the zodiac for this eclipse. So come and join me for that. I would love to see you there, and you guys take good care. I'll talk to you soon.